Hello everyone. It is Tuesday, February 9th. Okay. I'm going to try and keep it short and simple and straight to the point. I have so much information to talk about. I might have to do 2 videos. We'll see how this goes. So, my hospital experience for the VSG surgery. Wow. Good and bad, it's like my grandma ended up taking me to the hospital, and she was there with me the morning, leading all up until the point leading to where I walked back. God bless her heart. I love that woman. She waited with me in the waiting room. They called me back. I got changed into the gown and the little socks that they give you and all that kind of fun stuff. They hooked me up to the IV, and then whenever the last, just double checking, okay, you're here for the vertical sleeve. Yes. Then one thing I was not aware of, and I don't know if you guys have asked this question or if your surgeons have been up front and told you. Also, I believe it is up to the individual surgeons and or facilities that you are getting your surgery with, but I was never advised of it, and it hurt. So I want to forewarn you guys. I Googled it afterwards, and apparently it is pretty common to have done, but they give you a heparin shot before bariatric surgery, and that basically what it does is it helps prevent blood clots from forming, which totally understand why they did it, because that is a big concern, especially if you were going to be immobile for a little bit. So it hurts. The nurse even warned me. She gave it to me in my arm. I don't know if you can still, yep, it still got the bruise, and that's a week ago. She said, she goes, it's gonna burn and sting, and I'm sorry. And no joke, she was not exaggerating. Like, it was in tears. It hurt bad. So bad that it's gonna be a little joke, and maybe someone's experienced this or not, but I feel like the shot hurt worse than my wounds. Like, my incisions don't hurt compared to how that hurt. Yeah, that was fun stuff. But so after that, they let my grandma come back into the room with me and wait back there. One thing with Kaiser, at least my experience, they just they have you sitting on this like recliner chair, and then they put you in the gown, and then they cover up with you like with a thermal blanket, which is like a silver. And my grandma, she's like, you look like a queen right now. She's like, it does not look like you're going into surgery. Just because it was reflective, it was really weird. But to keep your body temperature warm so you don't get cold. But so she said a prayer with me, and then that kind of hit me. Like, it's real. Like, it's happening right now. And so with the waterworks. But yeah, I wouldn't have changed it for the world. So it was just kind of that realization that things could go wrong. Like, am I really doing this? And wow, like, the day is here. So it was cute when the anesthesiologist came in. She's like, man, he is a looker. My grandma has good taste. He was really cute. Then the surgeon came in. Oh, Dr. Thomas for Kaiser Fremont. Just had to throw that out there. But surgeon Dr. Dutta came in and just kind of did the final check-in, like, okay, you ready? I'll see you back there. And so that was comforting. He has such a welcoming smile, so it just kind of helps put you at ease a little bit, at least myself. But so you walk back there. I said goodbye to my grandma, and they locked my bag up in a small locker. They did say that they have a small locker because she was going to be going home at that point, so no one was going to be there. And then she took my pillow with her, all this stuff that I brought that you don't need. So went in there, laid me down on the bed, and basically was like just doing their final checkpoints and getting me all situated, and then made sure that they were all ready for each other. And then the anesthesiologist was basically, okay, take 5 deep breaths. And by like the second breath, they were fuzzy, and that's all I remember. My surgery went very well. I was done within the hour. My dad already had a phone call saying that things went great. So then recovery room first before you go into your room. And I don't quite remember the recovery room just because I was pretty much out of it the whole time. I do kind of remember getting wheeled to my actual room at that point, and kind of getting hooked up to the monitors there. And then that first walk, when they woke me up to go on that first walk, that was hell. I'm going to tell you, that first walk is a pain in the butt. At least my experience was, I was parched. I had dry cotton mouth, really dizzy and just tired from the anesthesia. So I don't know whatever everyone else's experiences were, but the first walk was rough. Each walk after that got better. So like they recommend walk, walk, walk. It does get better. So, and then the other thing was the machines, and just, I think I was just ready to come home. The first nurse, she was like, okay, so are you ready to go to the bathroom? You're tripping, lady. My mouth is parched. Like, I can barely talk. I haven't had any water. And she just kind of laughed at me and she goes, you have an IV. Duh. So she was really sweet, and she's like, okay, just think about it. Think that you mentally have to go pee. And then eventually I did, but it was hard. It's hard going pee afterwards. But I laughed at myself because I didn't realize I was getting fluids from the IV. But pain meds were great. The one thing I would say is that the pain med that they have, because it's a self released, where you can push a button if you're in pain, and it made me nauseous and dizzy though, so it just contributed to me being tired and out of it, which I didn't like that feeling. One thing I had majorly bad that I don't really remember anyone hearing or talking about or reading about: hiccups. This girl got them bad, like bad. As soon as I'd wake up, as soon as I'd sit up, as soon as I'd stand up, as soon as I'd start walking, they were awful and they hurt. The one nice thing is that I would get them a lot, but they wouldn't last very long. So I really was thankful for that, but it was like torture. The first time I did have an ice chip, which was after my first walk around, basically was like, it burned. It really burned. And then it eventually got better as I went along. And then they wanted you, there was, I think 2 times, because one of the times I was like, I'm not hungry, don't even bring my food. And then, so there were 2 meals where they brought, I'm like, they're so wasteful, because I don't know if they know it's for bariatric patients, but it's like a big bowl of broth, and then like a full Jello cup. And then they bring you 3 little 1-ounce containers, and they're like, okay, have 3, fill these each 1 time, so you have a total of 3 ounces. You can mix and match whatever you prefer. So if you wanted to do like 2 broth and 1 Jello, or 2 Jello, 1 broth, whatever, it was up to you. Both times I finished 1.5, and then I passed back out. So the whole time I was there, I basically had 4 ounces of the broth, which was fine. I think I was just ready to get home. You know, you're on the pain meds, you're nauseous, and I think I was more nauseous from the pain meds, if I didn't say that already. So, my son got there and he's like, Mom, can I look at your scars, your incisions? And that was the first time I saw them too. And they're covered with the steri tape? I don't know what it's called. The little tape. So you can't even really see them, but they're small. I have 5 of them. And then, um, but they come in, the nurses come in basically every hour. Let's take your blood pressure. Let's take your blood sugar. Let's draw blood. Let's have you drink or let's have you eat, and let's go for a walk, and how are you feeling? And then those machines, OMG. Wow. I got woken up so many times by them, the alarms on the machines going off. I felt like I was having a heart attack because it's just so loud and it's right by your head, and it was ridiculous. So I was so thankful and so ready to come home Wednesday. One thing I will say, honestly, you don't need to bring anything with you to the hospital. It's such a short stay. You're so doped up and out of it the whole time. I mean, I just brought a change of clothes, like thinking that I would be in the bed in my own clothes. It's like I brought a book to read just in case. The only thing I used was chapstick and my phone. That is it. Like, I didn't need my pillow. I didn't need slippers for around the hospital because they put socks on you that have the grips. And you're not up walking that much. You wear the gown because it's just comfortable and easy to pee, and you don't have to pull down yes, TMI probably, but you don't have to pull down your underwear and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. To each their own, right? But just preparing you guys. I mean, my pillow was awful there. Actually, I almost left it too, so who knows? That was my experience at the hospital. And this is a really long video, so I'm actually going to cut it into two, you guys. Sorry. I asked for a binder before I left to suck you in and wrap you up. That part was actually pretty nice. I like that the first 2-3 days when I was home. The other thing I forgot to mention, I think it's a spirometer. It's a pain in the peep. Okay, they put me down, I think, like at 1,000 or 1,500 first starting. I haven't moved it since. But to suck in, you're not blowing out. You have to suck in to get it up to that high. And you don't realize, like, your chest capacity, your lung capacity, you have none afterwards. So they wanted me to do this 10 times every hour, like basically when I was awake. I couldn't do it. I did it maybe like 3 times, and I'm just like, yep, I'm done. I'm going back to sleep. So I brought it home. It's the day after I was home, I was able to do it. So, I mean, I was able to do it, I think maybe once there, but my son got a kick out of it and he thinks it's the coolest toy ever. But, last thing with the hospital stay, this is the other thing I wasn't prepared for, that you come home, like, you're mentally prepared and physically prepared with all the vitamins pre-surgery and then after surgery. Well, guess what? You come home with more. Let's just add to the collection. Granted, it's only for a few months, but I have my gallbladder still, so one's to prevent gallstones from forming, so that one I totally get. The other one is a fun one. Constipation stool softener. I'm thankful for it because, yeah, I've just heard it could be bad. And then the other thing is basically like a Pepsid for gastric healing, which is only, again, these two, the gallstones and the Pepsid for the gastric healing, is only the first 3 months, I think, and then you don't have to take it after that. My pain meds, they sent me home with a liquid pain med and then also another pill for nausea as well. So 5 more. But that is it. Holy crap, I'm really far along in my time. So I'll go ahead and make another video about what it's been like since I've been home. All right, you guys, see you in a bit.